Alright, this is going to be a two-part series, I believe. Right now, this one is just evacuation, preparing this Prius for air conditioning recharge. Then I'm going to take a phase of break so I could set up and get everything ready for the recharge procedure. But I just wanted to run through some important things about being able to pull a deep vacuum on your systems to assure that all the air is out of the system, and if that's possible, you could remove as much moisture as possible. One thing you cannot do on a set of analog gauges is read down into the micron level. So if you see this is the field piece S.M.A.C.S 480V, you come right here to where it says microns, and this is something you couldn't read no matter what on a set of regular old-fashioned micron levels. This will also indicate small leaks that you can't read with a set of analog gauges, and it will also, this is where it also comes in where you will read the moisture content that is inside the system. Something you cannot do on analog gauges. When you're, right now we're down in the 150, 160 micron level. Something that between this and what you could read on your gauges, the human eye could never perceive, and the gauges would not even move. So that's one thing that's very important. You could read more about this by going online to Fieldpiece and reading about moisture removal and using a micron gauge. You can also go on to AccuTools BlueVac micron meters and go online and read more about moisture removal and using a micron gauge to self-educate yourself. And you also can, for like recoveries and the EPA laws, right now this is M.A.C.S, and they're giving a live seminar right now about getting your 609 refrigerant license, your refrigerant certification. So in process right now, this is live while I'm recording, and this video will be up on YouTube, and you can see their logo. So look at the logo. I'll cruise down here. You can see right here they're about to start, and right now they just started at 2 p.m. Eastern time. This will be the latest information released to get your information on using tools and equipment and procedures. I'll go to their front page, so you can go onto YouTube to find out more about M.A.C.S to get more information. And let's go there. So here's the front cover of their website, and you can get all the information needed to get your 609 certification. They have many past videos, and as you will notice, as they've been going through the time, as new rules, laws, and regulations come out, they slightly change their wording and what they tell you so they can keep up with the latest rules and regulations. This is one of the good things about an ongoing live seminars. You're constantly getting the latest information. So I highly recommend anybody interested in automotive air conditioning to go to this website. There's a lot of good information here. That's all I got to say about this. Now getting back to this Prius, we're going to do a recharge on this one, and I believe this is let's see, 470 grams in this system here. Always check your underhood label, because they'll be, as on the Priuses, say they'll be as low as 420 grams all the way up to 580 grams. So you must pay attention to the underhood sticker. Be careful when somebody went to a salvage yard, junkyard, and bought a hood that fits your Prius, because sometimes a hood from 1 or 2 years before can fit a later model vehicle, but they did a slight change in the air conditioning, so the amounts might be different. And if you get a sticker that is different, it might give you a different amount, what might cause operating problems or even damage. That's all I have to say about this. My other videos covered using a refrigerant identifier and making sure the air conditioning is not contaminated before you recover it into your recovery machine. I have videos using very good leak detectors, and this is one of them that I am now putting this at the top of my list of leak detectors along with the old H10 leak detector. Using good UV lights and dye for looking for leaks. That's another one that are a good buy for the money. Later on, I'll do a little more on using infrared cameras for other diagnosis. Might show it. Maybe I'll take a good picture on my next video right after I finish this one. Let's see if I could catch the condenser warming up as we start the AC system right in front of us on the camera itself, so you can actually see the flow of the refrigerant. So I'll close this video for now and be right back on video number 2 as I'm charging the system. And yeah, we're doing really good. Very rarely, this system, I recovered it. I filled it up with dry nitrogen to make sure no air got in the system. They replaced their components after this was in a front end body collision. I think it appeared that they may not have had to actually open up the lines to replace the parts they needed to replace, and so the system was probably never open to the atmosphere. And that's one of the reasons why when I started recovering, doing a vacuum on the system, it went right down into below 500, right down into 100 microns really fast, because they never broke the air lines to the atmosphere, and I already pre-charged it with dry nitrogen, so it displaces any air. It had like a positive 2 or 3 psi pressure of dry nitrogen, so there was no contamination of the ester oil. And I can actually read the moisture content that was not absorbed into the ester oil by how fast I was able to take this down to a vacuum. And if you've followed me and seen my other videos, you can see where I cannot bring a system down because the moisture contamination is so bad, because the shop opens it up and leaves it open to the air for a couple hours or a few days, and it contaminates the ester oil so bad I cannot pull out all the moisture and I cannot pull up a good vacuum. And that's due to lines being left open to the atmosphere. You cannot do that to ester oil. You cannot do that. You shouldn't do it to any system, but especially ester oil, especially on electric compressors. See you in video number 2 coming up.